What's up, FHS? I'm Chris Orr.
And I'm Bradley Lewis.
We hope you're having a great Thursday. It's 64 degrees out right now, so I hope you brought a coat to school. We've got a great show for you today, starting with a segment over Scholar Bowl, a profile of Glenda Thurston,
An inside look at FHS Theater, and finally, a look at the incredible career of a high school cafeteria manager. All this and more on BKTV Live. Glad to have you with us today. Before we get into the show, we'd like to remind you to show up and be loud at Hale Memorial Field.
That's right. Friday Night Lights has been transformed into Thursday Night Football this week, but the Knights still need your support.
To start off our show, there are a ton of clubs and sports at our school. A few of them are not well known, like Scholar Bowl. But what is Scholar Bowl?
BKTV's Brandon Arena and Rocky Killian have the answer to that question.
Scholar Bowl is an activity that many of our students participated in. However, not many students know about it. We asked Kate Northern and Dr. Weaves to share more information about this activity.
Scholar Bowl is an academic team, which means that we compete yearly second semester in what is basically competitive trivia.
We'll have 4 team members in at a time, and there'll be a moderator, and they'll ask questions on a variety of topics, including history, literature, fine arts, mathematics, science, philosophy, sports, and miscellaneous topics.
There's a lot of studying that you need to do in regards to learning information not only about the United States and history, but also social studies and mathematics and also science. So there's more room to learn about things in depth and then also improving your memory and your recall. So these are all things that anyone can benefit from, not just Scholar Bowl students. Our 2022-2023 team competed in sectionals after winning the championship. We also had 3 all-star winners during the conference. So we did very well last year, all things considered.
Well, last year we had 3 all-conference players. They're part of our graduating seniors. We've had Yip Fan, Bob Sue, and TJ Benoist were all-conference. We had a couple of all-district players last year as well.
So Scholar Bowl is what you make of it. How much effort you put in will determine how well you do in competitions. If you want to do well, there may be expected to be about 2 to 3 hours of studying per week, as well as taking college classes to be able to learn information in your daily life.
You've got to learn how to think fast on your feet. You've got to build relationships with your team members. You've got to be able to think both individually and cooperatively.
Ethan Kerr is a junior who has been in Scholar Bowl since middle school. He told us what Scholar Bowl means to him.
Just like so much hard work and dedication, that's just the most rewarding thing. I gotta love the friendships and bonds that I made with my teammates over these past now 4 years doing Scholar Bowl. Well, it's just amazing, and I would highly recommend joining if you haven't already.
Thanks to Kate, Dr. Reeves, and Ethan for giving us insight on Scholar Bowl. It's been Brandon Arena and Rocky Killian reporting for BKTV.
Scholar Bowl is a great opportunity for anyone if they want to show off their smarts. Practice is held every Wednesday from 6 to 8 in the iLab.
If you have any Scholar Bowl questions that need answered, be sure to email Dr. Reeves.
Meanwhile, the FHS Theater program is busy working on their fall production with a new director.
Get ready for a magical peek behind the curtain for the next production by the FHS Theater Guild, Puffs.
Puffs, or 7 Increasingly Eventful Years at a Certain School of Magic and Magic, is the current production of the FHS Theater Guild. And with the new directors, Miss Lowry and Miss Conaway, things are going to look a little different behind the scenes this year.
Well, I thought Puffs would be a really fun one because, for one, it's something that a lot of people know because it's a series that the series that we can't name, but it's one that a lot of people know. It's a lot of fun. It gives the students a lot of time, a lot of ability to come up with their own things, to be funny, to show off their humor. It's a lot of really funny kids, so it gives me a chance to let them really shine.
I'm super excited to get to work with the entire cast and crew and to kind of find my place again with the Farmington Theater Department. I think it's a really good one to do with high school because there are so many different parts, and it's a show that the kids can really make it their own, and no matter who comes, whether they are a fan of a certain book series that we will not name, or if they're just a fan of theater, they're going to enjoy it.
Reese Beckett, the stage manager for Puffs, is making some changes alongside the directors to how the shows are being run for Tech 2.
We're doing proper cue calling backstage, which to people who are not tech may sound very, very boring, but that means that in every single cue, light, sound, props, anything, I'm calling it to all the tech. And while it's a lot more work, it is a lot more fun, and I think it's a bigger experience for proper stage management. And I'm also excited to have an acting role. I've never had a proper one. I had a small one before, but this one's a bit more.
Really, there's a lot of technical bits that I plan to do that I'm a little worried about, but we'll get there, all in good time.
Some tech stuff, so projections and trying to help make the magic come to life. There's magic, it's a magic school, and so trying to figure out how to do some of those things, I think, will be a challenge, but I think we'll be able to face it and get through it.
With Miss Conaway, Miss Lowry, and Reese working together to make the magic come to life, this show is going to cast a spell on the audience.
I am most excited for opening night because that's always my favorite because I love getting that audience interaction and the energy from the audience and getting to see how excited all of the performers are.
I'm really excited for opening night. I can't wait because that's really the time that the audience and the community get to see what me and Miss Conaway get to see on a daily basis. A group of students who work so hard and they really get to shine and be funny. These are a great group of students. I'm really excited because it's all a group of people who most of them I've worked with or they've done theater before. The new ones seem super excited, but everyone's just having fun and it's been all smiles.
Be sure to come watch Puffs on November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Hope to see you there. This has been Alton Medlin reporting for BKTV.
Come and see Puffs on November 3rd and 4th at 7 or the 5th at 5 for a hilarious and magical time.
General admission seating is $7, and tickets can be purchased at the door or by clicking the link in the description. Now moving into our national and global news segment called Stuff That Matters. Our first story concerns the Hamas-Israel war. The U.S. has been deeply involved in the war, and President Biden has strongly supported Israel in its efforts from the start. ABC News reports that the majority of Americans support Biden's effort in the war, but it has not helped his already low approval ratings. As the war unfolds, it will have a lasting effect on the U.S. military and Biden's presidential run in 2024, so we encourage you to keep an eye on the situation.
Our next story concerns the House Speaker situation. As it currently stands, the U.S. has no Speaker of the House. Republican Representative Jim Jordan has been organizing a campaign to claim the position, but yesterday, the House voted against giving him the title for the second time, according to both CNN and Fox News, among others. It is presumed that he will continue running, but in the interim, we are still without a House Speaker.
Meanwhile, in sporting news, the MLB playoffs continue. In the American League Championship Series last night, the Rangers had their 7-game playoff win streak snapped by the Astros. The Rangers still hold a 2-1 lead in the series. Meanwhile, in the National League, the Phillies beat the Diamondbacks by a score of 10-0 Tuesday night, giving them a 2-0 series lead. They will play at 4:07 today, and it looks like both of these teams are on their way to the World Series, but it's too early to know for sure.
In NFL news, there has been a lot of talk recently about banning the hip drop tackle. According to Yahoo News, NBC, and others, many people consider this maneuver to be dangerous, and reports have come out that this specific tackle increases the chance of injury 25 times from that of a regular tackle. The league has conducted an investigation into the nature of the tackle. NFL executive Jeff Miller has called the maneuver an unforgiving behavior. According to Pro Football Talk, the article also mentioned that the issue was brought into the spotlight after Isaiah Simmons of the Giants used the tackle against Geno Smith of the Seahawks in a Monday night matchup in Week 4. Another NFL executive, Rich McKay, has hinted at the league taking action against the tackle by saying, "It's our job to try to regulate that," referring to the hip drop tackle. Our last story concerns goat guts. Yesterday, the Kansas City Star reported that travelers from the Dominican Republic were stopped in Chicago on October 10th. The traveler's luggage was burned after it was discovered that it contained 15 pounds of goat organs. The report alluded to similarities between this instance and another last month, where workers at Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport in Minnesota found 14 pounds of giraffe feces in a suitcase.
Wow, that's some crazy crap. Now moving back into our segments. From the night bowl to sloppy joes each day, hundreds of FHS students and teachers enjoy lunch from the cafeteria. For over 40 years, they've been greeted by a friendly face. BKTV's Caleb Truman and Grace Yates have the story.
Mrs. Thorsten is our cafeteria manager and is the longest tenured employee here at the Farmington School District.
I'm going on 45 years, and I've been here at Farmington High School the whole time. I started as a 2-hour worker and worked myself up. I work 7.5 hours now.
I've actually known her approximately 30 years. Well, Glenda oversees all of her employees that are in the kitchen, and she also does ordering and just kind of helps us with special days if we have something we want to plan for students. But she's who we communicate with when we need those special things, like if we have an early out day or a celebration that's going to impact the cafeteria. And I just think she's a really great person to do that because she's very patient, and you can have a conversation with her about anything, and she's super flexible and does a great job of creating a positive feel in that cafeteria for her staff.
She's been working here at FHS for 45 years and has seen plenty of changes in the cafeteria and her line of work while the school grows.
When I started as a manager, we didn't have as many people working under me as we do now. I don't remember, probably maybe 10 or 11 when I started being the manager. So, you know, it has grown. I manage 14 ladies. There's 14 of us. I place an order of food. We each have, we have 6 different lines here at the high school. So we each have our orders that we place. I place the main one.
She has been here for 40 years, but she was a cook in the cafeteria when I went to high school here. So I remember her, that's where I met her, was when I was in high school, and she was always just very kind. I think all roles at FHS are important, but I think that's a very important role because that's a time of the day where our students are able to just kind of relax, have a little lunch, talk to each other, and it is important for them to get the meals that they need, and she always puts students first and wants to make sure that they get what they need and just kind of be a smile for our students every day. So I think that role is very important because she has managed to be very flexible over the 40 years, and her children have gone here, her grandchildren have gone here, and she just really makes sure that she takes care of kids, and that's always important in a high school.
It's a good job, and of course, my daughter hasn't went to school for, golly, she graduated in 91, but it's a good job to have. I work 7.5 hours. I usually start between 6 and 6:30. I get off at 2. It's just an ideal job to have. I'm off in the summertime if I choose. I work summer school most of the time. I enjoy that. It's not as busy as regular school and stuff. But I just loved it. I loved the hours, and love the women I work with.
School lunches in the 1970s had cost around 75 cents, and now they cost around $2.75. Just another change that has happened in the last 45 years. Thank you, Mrs. Thorsten, for giving us a closer look into what a cafeteria manager does, and thank you for all your hard work. This has been Caleb Truman and Grace Yates from BKTV Live.
Miss Thurston was honored in front of the entire school district during this fall annual Welcome Back staff event. I don't know about you, but lunch is my favorite subject.
Mine too. In other high school news, Jobs for America's Graduates, also known as JAG, is a program that helps students learn what they would like to do after high school. Students learn many different things in this program. The seniors this year, however, have found a new route for JAG to take.
Earlier this year, we talked to all the JAG classes, and we wanted each class specifically to pick out an issue that affected them personally. Some classes are trying to get a crosswalk built to get to the hospital from the high school, since we've got a ton of students that live right here close to the school. Our senior class chose to do a store, like a supply store, because we've got stores for different things, snacks and whatnot, but we didn't have a school supply store. And so we figured, hey, why not just start a supply store here in the school? We had a good host of many others, but as seniors, we wanted to take advantage of a business grant through JAG, and it's a $500 startup grant for an entrepreneurship. So the students are like, hey, if we can fund all the supplies using this grant and then sell them for a little bit of profit, we can continually put that money back into the store. And it will be a business that we hope continues throughout the life of JAG. We're sending out a survey as part of this project to see what students need most. We're obviously not going to have computers or anything like that, but we're going to have like pencils, notebooks, folders, just the random stuff that maybe a student needs. But if it's on a Monday morning, they look down, they don't have a pen or a pencil, they know they can come to our store, which will start off being located in the JAG classroom, ran by the students and actually work there and everything. But they'll be able to get whatever supplies they need, and we'll go from there. The plan to open is probably next semester sometime. We're currently working on the grant right now. We've got a closing date on it on October 15th, and then we're going to get all the supplies and hopefully by the start of next semester have a store.
The store will be open during the hours of seminar and whatever free hours Sergeant Vaughn may have. Thank you to Sergeant Vaughn for sharing this project with us.
Great job, guys. Well, that's all we have for today. For now, this has been Chris Orr
and Bradley Lewis on
BKTV Live.